All right, welcome to Biology 103 Hybrid. I wanted to make a quick video to kind of walk you through where you can find things in Blackboard, just in case you're not familiar with Blackboard or if you've never taken a hybrid before. So first off, when you log in, it's going to take you to our homepage when you click on our class. Homepage is really good to look at pretty regularly. I'm going to have announcements at least once a week. I'm going to have, excuse me, a checklist announcement. And that's going to have everything that's coming up in the next week that you need to be working on, as well as due dates. All right. I'm also going to record a quick video that you can watch just to kind of let you know what's going to be due. Have other, helpful tips like how attendance works in here and things like that. So just check your announcements pretty regularly. Also, I haven't put any in yet, but there's a My Tasks section. And anything that is going to be due within the next week or so, I'll post that here in the My Tasks section. So just make sure that you check that too. All right, start here. That's where this video is, so I know you found that. I've got a list of all of our class meetings. I'll have more information on this in just a little bit, but you've got two different groups. We're going to split up into two groups this semester. Half of us will meet on Tuesdays, the other half will meet on Thursdays. So this is just a schedule that you can keep up with when you need to actually be coming to class, the dates for those. All right. Just some more things you can go through and read. I sent everyone an email before the semester started with a getting started document and a copy of the syllabus. So there's a copy of that right there. For the textbooks, all right, real quick, textbook, I know people usually ask, is that something I really need to buy? And this is not my coded answer, but it's a really good resource. I will tell you though that everything you're going to need to know for the test, I've got lecture videos that I've recorded and I've got PowerPoints. And if you will watch those and read through the PowerPoints and take notes, we're going to cover everything you need to know for the test, all right? So the textbook, it's actually a really good resource to have, but if you can't buy it or if that's not an option, don't think that you're going to fail the course. If you will watch the lecture videos and take notes, and you need to watch them, don't just print off the PowerPoint and skim through it, because I've got stuff that I do in my lecture videos that might not be in your PowerPoint. If you'll do that, you're going to cover everything you need to know. Now, this one is, you absolutely need to have this, is our lab book. It's called Principles of Biology 1 Lab Manual. There's the ISBN number. This is the book that you're going to bring to our labs. It's actually got worksheets that you're going to write your answers in, rip the pages out, and turn that in. So you've got to have that. If you don't have your lab manual, you don't have anything to turn in, which means I don't have anything to grade. So make sure you get that. Our first lab meeting is going to be January 26th or 28th, depending on which group you're in. So just by that date, you have to have your lab manual. All right, and if you have any questions on that, let me know. Got a quick video too if you've never been to the new science building. It's a video that's going to show you how to find our lab. So you can check that out if you need to. All right, let's just run down the list on the left side of this tab we have right here. There's a COVID waiver form. We're having to do that still this semester, where you have to have a form filled out and bring it with you our first class meeting, even if you did that last semester. So if you can print that off and bring it with you the first time that we have class, I'll collect that. That's just something you have to have to be on campus this semester. All right, I've already showed you the home page. Most of these are self-explanatory. There's a instructor info. That's just where you can find where my office is, where my office hours are. And then this semester, I believe, I haven't heard for sure yet, but I think they're wanting us to do a lot of our office hours off campus, just so that we're not all close together for social distancing. So in the black hours right here, I'll be in my office. But in any of these red hours, mostly in the afternoon, even though I won't be here, I've set up a Google Voice number, and if you'll call this number, you can contact me as long as it's during my office hours. So if you need anything, you can send me a Blackboard message or call there if it's in these office hours, and I should be able to get in touch with you. All right? There's a copy of the syllabus. I know I sent you that in the email already, but you've got that if you need to. There's also a syllabus quiz. So what I want you to do, and this is all in that checklist announcement, and in the My Tasks section, you'll see this too. But I want you to read the syllabus. Once you've read it, once you feel comfortable with that information, take the syllabus quiz. It's just really simple questions that you can use your syllabus to find the answers to. And you can have that syllabus while you're taking that quiz. All right? I've also got a list of all of our assignments for the whole semester. I would print this off. I've got a downloadable copy down here. Print that off and use that like your checklist, so you make sure that you don't forget any due dates, because it's telling you on day one, These are all the things that you have to do. All right. Okay, here's the really important ones, learning materials. This is where all of the lecture videos and the PowerPoints are going to be located. I've got our chapters split up into 5 different units because we're going to have 5 tests. So Unit 1, this is all the stuff that we're going to cover on our first exam, Chapter 1, 15, 19, and 2. So if you'll click on the Chapter 1, for example, you've got a PowerPoint. If you'll click that, you can download a copy of the PowerPoint. And what I would really recommend that you do, that's not it. Okay. What I would recommend that you do is open up the PowerPoint. You can print a copy of the PowerPoint. There we go. When you click print, what I would do is print handouts. I like the one that says 3 slides per page. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got the slides small, but it's big enough where you should be able to read it. And then it's got plenty of room for notes out to the side. So I would print that off and have it with you. And then you can watch the lecture videos. So what this lecture video is, this is really similar to what I would do if we were meeting in class.
Chapter 1.
It's a lecture. I'm not going to make you watch this right now, but it's a lecture video where I've got the PowerPoint pulled up. I'm going to lecture over it. There's times where I'll add additional notes and things like that. But if you've got your PowerPoint printed off in that handout form, you can follow along, and then you can take any extra notes that I write down, you can write those in the margin. That's a really, really good way to take notes, and then you've got a really good something to study before the test. All right? So that's all in the learning materials. There are also study guides at the bottom of those unit folders. So the Exam 1 study guide is right there. So use that. Take advantage of those things. I cannot stress enough, one of the biggest issues I had last semester, we were hybrid then too, is that I had just way too many students who were showing up for lab, but then they weren't watching the lecture videos. And when they tried to take a test, it was on stuff they had never seen before. So please watch these lecture videos, take notes, treat it like a regular class. And if you come across something that doesn't make sense to you, feel free to send me a message and let me know. All right, so that's learning materials. Quizzes. We are going to have a review quiz any week that we cover a chapter lecture. I'm going to have a review quiz just to make sure that you understood that material. Now, you can use your PowerPoints and you can use your notes when you take these quizzes. That's perfectly okay. But that's where you're going to find all the review quizzes for this semester. You can also find really quickly there is an About Me survey. It's just a chance for you to tell me a little bit about yourself and earn 5 points at the beginning of the semester. So that's right there. The thing you need to do first off, so like right after you're done watching this video, there's a pretest. And this is on material that you're not supposed to know yet. This is stuff we're going to cover this semester, but we just need to know what you know about biology at the beginning of the semester, and then we'll compare that to what you know later on when you're taking the real test. This is not worth any points, so feel free to open it up, read through it. If you know an answer or if you think you know it, just kind of click what you think the answer is. If you start getting to questions that you've never seen those words before, just feel free to skip them, because really it's okay. It's not a problem, because I'm not even going to look at your individual grade. I just have to see as a class how many of us know this information. All right? There'll be a few other assignments you might find in that quizzes tab, so just check the announcements. Okay, lab. Here is all of our lab and class meetings again. When you pick your group, we'll go over that in just a second. And then lab midterm and lab final. I'll have some study guides for you, or some study aids that you can read through there. All right, one more assignment is the diversity project. This one is going to be worth 5 bonus points. But what it is we just want you to read through these biographies of a couple different scientists. And then once you've read through those, once you feel comfortable with the information, there's a 10-question review quiz. When you take that, because it's worth bonus points, it's going to say that you got a 0 out of 0. What I'll do is I'll go through and see how many questions you got right. And you can earn up to 5 bonus points by doing that. All right, so all of those assignments I've mentioned so far, the pre-test, I want you to do that as soon as possible. It's due actually by the end of this first week. on Friday. So make sure that you take that right off the bat. Now, the About Me survey and the diversity project, those are going to be due January 24th. So even though that sounds like it's a ways off, go ahead and get those out of the way, and that way you won't have to worry about them when the due date gets closer. Just a few more things. There's a My Grades section. There's not going to be anything in there right now, but as soon as we start doing assignments, I will keep your grades updated here. You can always look and see what your average is or what you made on any individual assignment. So you can always check that. All right, communication tools. Best way to get in touch with me, because I'm teaching 4 different classes this semester, and that's like 120-ish different students. So that can be a lot to keep up with. If you will send me a message in Blackboard, that's better because number 1, I honestly check that more often. Number 2, I'll know that it's from this class. If you send me an email, I don't know if it's my hybrid class or my online or my anatomy, and it can take a little while to kind of figure out what you're talking about. Go to Messages. Go to Create Message, and it's going to pull up the whole class roster right here. I'll be the one that says Instructor to the side. So click my name, click this arrow, moves me over to the recipients, and then it's just like email. You have to type in a subject. You can send me your message. You can even send an attachment. So like if you're having trouble with something, like with a file that's not working, or like if you wanted me to look over the study guide, you can attach it and send it to me. So that's, like I said, best way to get in touch would be Blackboard. Or if it's during my office hours, use one of those numbers that I've listed. Announcements, I mentioned that already. Check those. You'll have a checklist of everything we're doing each week. All right, class discussion. I mentioned earlier that we're going to have to split up into 2 different groups this semester. So the reason is we don't need people really close to each other this semester. We got to stay spread out at least 6 feet and all that. So in our labs, there's enough room for 12 students to attend at a time. All right, there's 24 total, so we're going to split up into 2 different groups. Group A is going to meet on Tuesdays for labs and for exams, and Group B will meet on Thursdays. Now, if you've noticed on your schedule, I don't know if you saw that, it says that Tuesdays we meet from 8 to 10:45, and on Thursdays we meet from 8 to 10. Since we're doing lab each day, we're just going to be in here from 8 to 10. We'll never have any days where we're going to have stuff to do a little bit later than that. We'll be done by 10. Now, if you need to stick around for a little bit, that might be an option, but 10 o'clock. So don't pick your group because one day is 45 minutes longer than the other. We'll be 8 to 10 for both groups. All right, so all you need to do is figure out which day works best for your schedule. Click on the Select Your Group tab right here. And I've got 2 threads. Group A is going to be my Tuesday group. Group B is going to be my Thursday group. All you have to do is click on which group you want to meet with, click Reply, and you'll just say, I would like to meet on Tuesdays, or I would like to be in Group A, something like that. That way you can let me know which group you want to be in. All right, just a couple notes about that. Like I said, there are only 12 students that can meet, so just count before you write down your name in one of these groups. If there's 12 already, that means one group is full, and you're just going to have to pick the other group. All right? Also, and the college is being really strict on this, once you select your group, you are not able to switch days. We need to have to know which groups or which students are on campus on which days for contact tracing and things like that. So look at your schedule, figure out if there's a reason you can't attend on a Tuesday this semester, you might want to pick Thursday, or vice versa. Just look at your schedule, pick the day that works best for you. All right, I think that's it. I know that was a lot of information right there, but just make sure, select your group by January 20th. If you haven't picked by then, I'll just send you a message and let you know which group I put you in, but I wanted you to have a chance to pick your day first. All right? So that has got it pretty much. I'm sure other things will come up in the semester, but just let me know if you have any questions. Send me a message, and I'll be glad to get back with you. Thanks, and I will see you all shortly.